Hey folks, Fractured Headlines here. What's going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene? She resigned her job 2 days after her pension vested and after she was able to take advantage of insider knowledge and make some very profitable stock purchases and sales. Can't blame the gal. It's got to be a lot of monkey business hanging around Washington dealing with all those knuckleheads. And she saw a way out, and she took it. Yeah. There's been some speculation that Marj is getting ready for a run at the presidency in 2028. Can you imagine? Well, Trump is totally unqualified, so why not Marjorie Taylor Greene? Let's have our first totally unqualified female president. We had a pretty good choice with Kamala Harris, and we had a really good choice with Hillary Clinton. Both of those ladies were distinguished in their fields and knew a lot. Very smart, very accomplished. They were qualified. Didn't stand a chance. What with the patriarchy standing in their way? Folks, absolutely certain that a woman shouldn't take that job. But who, me? Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be the breakthrough pioneer woman president in 2028. After all, we've got a lot to fear from those Jewish space lasers. Yeah, that's something that we need to address. And any other bits of craziness from her past, you can dig it up yourself. I'm not gonna go into that whole catalog. But now there's a lady right there who supported Trump through thick and thin. Actually, just through thin. Now they got a little thick. Trump has kind of turned his back on her. She had a moment of clarity there where she demanded the release of the Epstein files and promised, oh, such a promise, and now a broken promise too. She promised to read the names of the men who were involved in the Epstein files on the floor of Congress. That was a mighty powerful promise right there. It scared the crap out of Trump, no doubt about it. That was probably the final straw for him as far as supporting her and threatening to primary her. Now, let's not put a whole lot of faith in the voters of Georgia. After all, they were the geez, what do I want to say? They were the intellectual deficients who elected her in the first place. They knew she was a nut. They knew she was a nut, and yet they voted for her. Maybe that was a different time. Maybe, just maybe, the folks in Georgia have smarted up a little bit and aren't going to fall for that kind of garbage again. If she does really and truly resign in March, and of course she's got time to change her mind. Everybody has a opportunity to say, "Oh, I was just kidding," or, "That's not real." But if she does actually resign in March, there's going to be an opportunity to put somebody else in that seat. And will it be another totally unqualified and incompetent Republican? Well, knowing Georgia, it could very well be another extremely bad choice that they make. Of course, knowing also that people do learn and they do evolve. It just might be, that the people in Georgia will take this opportunity to replace that defective unit with a more trustworthy, a more sane replacement. You got to give it to Marj. 2 days after her pension was vested, she pulls the plug on her short political career. Now, what we'll probably see, and I shudder at the thought, in the event that it goes down to a Gavin Newsom and J.D. Vance contest, and through some sheer unfortunate stupidity, J.D. Vance ends up as our next president, and God forbid. I mean, that guy, he wrote one little skinny book on which his fame was based, and that got him into the White House. fake hard-scrabble youth. Spent actually in a nice suburb, as I understand, 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. You know, he didn't grow up in a sod house, folks. He was not a prairie guy, you know. He wasn't turning the soil or anything like that. But anyhow, if it comes down to that, if it comes down to a battle between Newsom and J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance manages to pull off the, I would call the upset, you wouldn't be surprised to see Marjorie Taylor Greene, as ignorant as she is, replace, maybe Linda McMahon and be the Department of Education head, if there still is a Department of Education under J.D. Vance. Trump is doing his best to dismantle that. Or maybe she could, she could be head of the Department of Defense. After all, the Jewish space lasers are a clear and present danger. And who knows more about that than Marj, right? The Jewish space lasers have to be neutralized. And as the head of the Department of Defense, she could make that her big project. So yeah, what's up with Marj? What's going on there? Anybody have a clue? I don't. She did have a long, strong history of spewing hate and lies and misinformation at the behest of Donald Trump as one of his unquestioning lackeys. But now there seems to be a break between the two of them. But you never know. You never know. Trump has been known to kiss and make up, especially when he sees that there might be some good, some use in the person who he has discarded. And Marj being on the discard pile right now doesn't mean that she's going to stay on the discard pile. She may well end up in the next administration as one of our next totally unqualified appointees. Another outrageous appointment, even crazier than her being in Congress. These are strange times, folks. Strange times. The United States has 340 million people, 350 million people? Bunch of people, lots of people. Many of them qualified to lead various departments, many of them with extreme policy chops, with a depth of knowledge, expertise in their areas. Are they going to get called on to be department heads? Well, only if they can, only if they can provide good TV fodder. So I'm going to keep this one short, I guess. Marjorie, we hardly knew you. We were really hoping that you would emerge as a Republican hero and stand on the floor of Congress and fearlessly read those names. But it appears that somebody got to you, and you're not going to be doing that. That would require an amount of courage that you don't have. And let's face it, if you've got a congressional pension and you've made a few million from stock trades, there's no reason to work anymore. You can make the rounds on Fox News and Newsmax or wherever they're accepting the fake narratives that you peddle, and you can probably eke out a few appearance fees and get paid to make a few speeches, that sort of thing. There's still some money that you can shake loose from the stupid and the gullible before you fade away into the sunset, if that's what's going to happen. But you know what I'm going to recommend, Marj? I'm going to recommend that you take your millions from your stock trades. Now this is free advice. I'm going to give it to you free. No charge for this. And I'm an older guy than you are. I have more experience in the ways of the world. Fame and fortune are fleeting. And the fame that you enjoy today, you may become just an obscure footnote in history. So what you need to do is you need to take those millions that you made on the funky stock trades, take those millions and go to a place, let's say Akron, Ohio, maybe, right? Or let's say, the outskirts of Memphis, maybe, or go to North Carolina. Find yourself a 3, 4, 5, 6, or 10 unit apartment building. You've got a few $1,000,000 to play with, so maybe you can get, a 10, 15, 20 unit apartment building. One that's in good shape, one that's been rented out steadily, and take one of those units for yourself. For this, you're going to have to swallow your pride. This is going to require some strategic thinking on your part and some humility. Take one of those units and live in it and collect the rent from the other ones. And you'll never have to work another day in your life. You can sit back and write your memoirs. I'm sure they'll be interesting. And with your millions, you'll have enough money you can pay a ghostwriter. I mean, you probably can't write your way out of a paper bag. So you can hire somebody to help you with that. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, go find yourself a multi-unit somewhere. Pay cash. Don't even do a mortgage. Just go ahead and pay cash for it. And cash flow the place. You'll have enough for groceries. You'll have a place to live. You can put gas in a car. You never have to work again. It's the American dream. You have achieved the American dream. You duped a lot of people. You squeezed money out of a unlikely scenario. You are positioned to retire, Marj. So get that multi-unit. Go to Cary, North Carolina. Go to Chillicothe, Ohio. Go to Toledo. Go to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Go to someplace that has an apartment building waiting for you. Move in there and fade away into the well-deserved obscurity which you have earned. Hey, I got nothing more to say about Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's not a lot there. Y'all have a fantastic day. This is Fractured Headlines. If you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Make a comment. Or make an insult. Whatever you want to do. Push any button you like. Push that panic button. Push that get her done button. And have a great day. And we will catch you all on the next video.